to the Where's Big Drew podcast, sponsored by Staycating.com, the #1 new short-term rental site in East Tennessee. Staycating.com will show the difference between staying at a property and a staycating experience. This podcast is also sponsored in part by Short Term Pro and Buffalo Creek Fishing Company. Be sure to click the like button and follow us for more funny stories from your favorite big bearded travel blogger. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Where's Big Drew. Remember as always to eat local and support local businesses. Now let's get into today's podcast.
The only thing that I need is you and me underneath the sun. The only thing that I need is you and me underneath the sun. I need a vacation. I got crumbs in my beard.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Big Drew Reviews, where I go to my favorite local restaurants and local businesses to check them out. And I decided to come back and leave a review on them and give you guys my honest feedback of what I thought. So if you ever want to go try to experience the business for yourself, then you get a chance to do that. I always try to keep it positive, but keep in mind there may be a couple instances where maybe something wasn't 100% positive. Now, if I go to a business and just absolutely hated every second of it and it was just terrible, most likely it's probably not going to end up on here because I don't want to be the guy that buries a local business, but I'm also not going to be the guy that's going to lie and try to promote them either. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so I finally got a chance to get into a business called Dipsy Daisy Coffee, which is located up in Blaine, Tennessee. I say get into the business. I actually just went through the drive-thru. I would like to go inside one day, though. But finally got a chance to, check out Dipsy Daisy's Coffee in Blaine. So I pulled in the drive-thru, which if you've not been there before or if you're new like me, it can be a little weird because it almost doesn't look like they have a drive-thru. To be honest with you, I was kind of scoping the place out for a minute, and so I seen cars pulling up to the drive-thru window, which is like, oh, okay, that must be where the drive-thru's at. That was the only way that I knew about it, but when you first pull in the parking lot, if you're looking to the building on the right-hand side, there's a window there, and it looks like it's just part of the building, but but it is actually a drive-through window with like a little menu and everything. So, but I went in through the drive-through. I've actually tried 2 drinks from there. I was able to make it through one day, and then a couple days later, me and my wife went through. But the first time I went, I had a mocha frappuccino, which they've got a pretty good little selection of stuff. A lot more options than I thought, because obviously it is kind of in a little bit of a very rural area. There's not a whole lot around there, and so I don't know what I expected 100%, but they had a lot of syrup flavors. They had several different drinks to choose from. I don't think they had a macchiato, but they had, cappuccinos, frappuccinos, just different drinks like that probably kind of similar that you would get to Starbucks. So the first time I got a mocha frappuccino, and the drink was very good. It was, maybe not exactly on like Starbucks level or whatever, if I was trying to do a comparison, as far as, obviously Starbucks is a major company. They've got their stuff down to a science. This was more like homemade type, tasting. Like you could tell it was fresh brewed and it was fresh, it was homemade. You could tell. It was very good. One thing I will say, if you're not used to it, just a heads up, Both the drink that I got and the drink that my wife got, it did have a lot of ice chips in it, that maybe wasn't quite blended up as well. That didn't really bother me at all. My wife did comment on it, but the other thing is you get these really big straws, like really, really big straws. They give you these. I mean, it's like those like massive like fun straws, or I don't know what they're called exactly. So I think some of those ice chips could just be from where the straw's so big. You're not used to that. And so, like I said, I ordered the mocha frap. It came with the whipped cream topping and all that, just like normal, and it had the cup with the circle opening at the top. One thing that was interesting was um, they actually put a caramel drizzle on top of it, which I definitely wasn't expecting. I hadn't ever seen that before. I didn't ask for a caramel drizzle. The drink that I ordered, the mocha frap, was already, mocha is just chocolate. So, I mean, it was already, pretty chocolatey and sweet, so I wasn't quite expecting that. The caramel drizzle tasted good. I just, I can't help but think like, okay, if I didn't like caramel, that would have possibly ruined the drink, or if if I just flat out didn't want it or wasn't willing to eat the caramel on my chocolate drink, that that could have possibly posed problems for somebody else. So if you do go and you want to get a mocha frap or whatever, maybe just make sure to tell them, hey, I don't want any kind of drizzles on there. Just or if you do a drizzle, do a little bit of chocolate or something. Because obviously if you're not wanting, caramel or another flavor on top of there, then that may or may not ruin the drink. Another thing, and to me it's not really a bad thing, but for some people, we get so accustomed to Starbucks and whatnot, but another thing that you may want to consider is, again, everything's like freshly brewed and homemade and really good and tasty and all that. But it's not like you're in and out in 5 seconds or possibly even 5 minutes. Like that you do have to kind of sit there for a minute while they make it. And it's not like they have 20 employees or whatever like some of those Starbucks have, where they got people running around everywhere, or Panera or whatever. So just keep that in mind. Like if you decide that you want to go through the drive-thru and you're in a bit of a hurry, or you're not going to have a lot of time, maybe just leave a little earlier and make sure that you allow time for your drinking stuff to be made. That's one thing that like I said, I feel like we got spoiled on over the years, is like everything being instant right this second, fast. But I think on average, I probably had to wait maybe about 5-ish minutes or so, depending on, between the first time I went and the second time. The second time, which I'll get into that here in a second, but second time we had a couple more things, obviously, so it took a little bit, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Maybe leave a little bit earlier, because it's gonna, it might take them a minute to freshly brew your drink and all that. So yeah. But the drink was great. It tasted great. I mean, it's super affordable. It was actually really affordable. I don't remember the size. It might have been a large, which I think would have been like a 20 ounce. But I got a large mocha frap and an extra shot of espresso in it, and it was like either $3.99 or $4.99. I think it was $3.99 actually, because I remember thinking, "Wow, dude, that's like not even that's not even $5. That's pretty good." But the drink was great. I will say that the first drink did kind of upset my stomach a little bit, but I think that was just because of the the chocolate, the whipped cream, the caramel topping. Sorry, caramel. I have to make sure to remind myself to say caramel because I'm Southern. Um, but I think because I don't typically eat a whole lot of sugar, so having the caramel drizzle and the chocolate and the whipped cream and all that stuff for me was probably just a little bit more than what I'm used to. And the other thing is where they give you those really big straws, you really have to like pace yourself and remember, like, I'm not drinking a milkshake, I'm drinking a coffee drink. See, because I had that big straw and I was sitting there just kind of slurping it down, and yeah, it's basically the equivalent of like chugging coffee. So, either ask for a smaller straw or just as you're sitting there drinking it, remember, like, hey, this is a big straw. I need to make sure I'm not like, slurping this thing down in 10 seconds. I think that was the big reason why my stomach hurt a little bit that day, was because I slurped my drink down and it had all that sugar that I'm not used to. But it tasted really, really good. The second time, me and my wife went through the drive-through, and she, if I'm not mistaken, I think she got a mocha frap as well, or maybe it was a caramel frap. I don't remember exactly, but she got an iced drink like I did. She thought it was great. She thought it was fantastic. I told her the same thing, like, hey, you know, sorry if there's some background noise there. But I basically told her the same thing, like, hey, it's a big straw. Make sure you don't slurp it down in 10 seconds like I did. Blah blah blah, whatever. And she drank it, liked it, loved it, and she never even got a stomach ache at all. And she don't really drink coffee that much, so I think, like I said, it was just because I chugged that first one. Um, but yeah, she loved it. I got a caramel. I think I got a caramel latte, if I'm not mistaken. I know it was a hot drink. I think it was a caramel latte. And it was great. It was really good. It was delicious. It was, and I think we also got a couple breakfast burritos, which the flavor was awesome. You could tell it was homemade. It wasn't like something store bought that they froze or whatever and then like reheated. I mean, it was like you could tell they made the eggs and the bacon and all that. And I mean, it was very fresh, very good. One thing I will say, um, I think the breakfast burritos were about 350. They were kind of small. And I mean, I'm a big guy, don't get me wrong, but I mean, they were about the size as like either McDonald's, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they still have them, but McDonald's have those kind of small breakfast burritos, and they used to have the snack wraps back in the day. It's about that size. Um, as far as width, if you were to take your index and middle finger, um, and put those together, it was probably maybe just a little bit, maybe like three fingers at the most. But wasn't very big, wasn't very thick, but the flavor was very good. So just keep that in mind. If you order one, you may or may not have to order two to really like fill you up. They do also have like paninis and other stuff, I'm pretty sure. I know that they have a bagel with cream cheese and stuff like that. So they may have some other options if you're just wanting like a bigger meal or whatever. But the flavor was great. The coffee was great. It was, very, very fairly priced, which is awesome. Um, you know, it was very, very fairly priced. I think we got the two breakfast burritos and two drinks and a cream cheese bagel. And I think it was like somewhere between $14 to $18, which is like really, really good, really. I mean, if it's a coffee place, like if you're going to go Starbucks and order that much food, I mean, it would probably be 30 something bucks or whatever. So I don't remember exactly what it cost, but I remember me and my wife both were like, man, this is really, really affordable. So if you're out in the Blaine area, if you're out in the Granger County area, if you're out in, Gibbs area, or Coreyton community, I should say, Coreyton, Luttrell, and Granger County, and even really if you're in Knoxville, if you're kind of out that way over near Rutledge Pike or whatever, and you want some yummy, affordable coffee, give Dipsy Daisy coffee a try. I know that, like I said, I've not been inside yet, but my wife, she was actually sitting in the back seat on the driver's side when we went through, because my 2-year-old daughter was in her car seat, and she likes it when, Mama rides back there with her and whatever. They kind of play and giggle and tickle and whatever, and just, they have a good time. But I do know that as we drove up, I was kind of looking at where I was going, but my wife was looking inside the stores we were driving by. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it looks so cute in there. The clothes and everything looks so cute." I know they sell like shirts and clothes and stuff on the inside. So, because it's actually, I think it's technically a little boutique on the inside there, if I'm not mistaken. So, but yeah, if you're ever out in that area and you want just kind of a, real good cup of coffee that's affordable and, that's made by, you know, uh, locals that are, just trying to run a local business and make a couple bucks, then I would definitely check out Dipsy Daisy Coffee in Blaine, Tennessee. Uh, it's just a little bit past the Pizza Hut. If you're heading away from Knoxville, it's just a little bit past I said Pizza Hut. It's just a little bit past the Pizza Plus. You'll be driving up through there. Pizza Plus is on your left. You will see the gas station on your right. Also on the left, there's like a feed store, like an agricultural feed store on the left. And but yeah, you'll get going up through there, and you'll come up to the big four-way. And if you're going to make a right at the four-way, that's where City Hall is. And just on the other side of that four-way, you'll see a little tiny building on the left with a gate around it, and then there's actually like a big garage that's kind of next to it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's like an old yellow hot rod or something sitting out front. I don't remember exactly, but anyways, little tiny building on the left. You'll see a decent little sized parking lot, and it's kind of sort of one way in, one way out. That's Dipsy Daisy Coffee, and I posted pictures of our food on social media. If you want to check me out, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram is all at Where's Big Drew. I posted pictures of what I got, the drinks, or I took a picture of my iced drink. I didn't take a picture of the latte, but you can kind of see how big the straw and stuff is. But took a picture of the coffee, and I took a picture of the breakfast burrito just so you can kind of see it. But yeah, I definitely would recommend it. I'm not gonna do the whole stars thing, like 1 through 5 stars and all that. But yeah, it's good. It's affordable. It's supporting local. It was nice and hot. The flavor was good. The bacon had kind of a smoky flavor to it almost, which was nice. Big piece of cheese on there. I got like the bacon, egg, and cheese burrito. The eggs were good. I mean, yeah, it was good all around. So definitely recommend. Check it out. Check my social media out if you want to see pictures and whatnot. And other than that, let me know where I need to go next, guys. Follow me on social media. Again, it's at Where's Big Drew. Like and subscribe to this podcast for more. But yeah, let me know where I need to go next. There's a decent chance that I've probably been there before. But yeah, let me know. Burgers, pizza, tacos, seafood, ice cream, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm flexible. There's not too many things in this world that I won't eat. So, yeah, give me recommendations. Where should I go? If you own a business and you want me to come out and do a feature or do a spot, hit me up. Let me know. Other than that, until next time, this has been a episode of Big Drew Reviews on the Where's Big Drew podcast. Remember, guys, eat and support local businesses. I'm out.